Why am I not happy with my life? Or why are you not happy with your life? Not feeling good about our lives can be very frustrating. It can be hard to get out of that. So today I'm going to talk about some of my experiences that helped me get over feeling not happy with my life that hopefully can help you too. My name is Richardson. I'm a coach here at Life on Your Terms, and I make these videos here so you can do exactly that. You can live a life on your terms and feel good about it. So why am I not happy with my life? I think there's three reasons. There's a simple mental roadblock that you probably have that's holding you back. There's what I was and what I see in other people. You'll understand it more when I get to that point. And then some simple changes that you can make to feel more happy with your life. So what was that first simple mental roadblock I was talking about it? It's expectations. You have some expectation of others or of yourself to have a certain outcome or for people to act a certain way. And unfortunately, you just can't have expectations of others in life because it's probably unfair for you to have some random expectation on someone. It's just how they act. Not to excuse their actions, but to have expectations for someone to act a certain way is very dangerous and can make you not happy with your life. But more importantly is that you have expectations of a certain outcome of yourself or within your life that you are expected, that you think you should be given or should have. And that is dangerous. Now, I'm talking from experience here because just recently I had to shed some expectations of myself. I thought that I should be here or some certain place as a coach. I'm not that place. And what I had to do is I had to do a mental shift that I had to go from the outcome is not the goal. The work and the process is the goal. And I stole this from Alex Hormozy because I think he nails it on the head when he says that the work is the goal. The process is the goal. What you do and what actions you take is the goal. And how you set goals is, I think if I do this action, then X or Y outcome will happen. And it doesn't even matter. Y is not the goal. The outcome is not the goal. It's the process that's the goal. And that's all that matters. You still count it as a win if you did the process. So you need to shift your expectation from outcome-based to expectation of process. So you have high expectations of yourself that you're going to take these actions and fulfill your word, but you don't expect any outcome and you don't expect people to act a certain way. So that is the first thing, that you have some high expectation that you should have this thing or this outcome. Now, another expectation that's really dangerous is that you should be like others. You're comparing yourself to others. You're comparing your progress to where others are at. And that's super dangerous as well. And so all that matters is that you are better than you were last week. You are better than you were a month ago. That is all that matters. If you are 1% better than you were a week ago, you're winning. It doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. You got to compare yourself to yourself, and it's gonna take some mental effort to do so. I really had to work on it, and it was difficult, but once I could shift from looking at what others are doing to simply what I am doing, it really helped me feel a lot better about my life. Now, what's the second reason I was talking about what I was and what I saw in others? It's lack of purpose and direction. In the past, I didn't have a purpose, I didn't have a direction, and I felt like I was just wandering through life as a victim of circumstance. And not having a clear purpose can be frustrating, and there's two questions you can ask yourself to kind of start to look for a purpose. Those being, what am I here for? What was I put on earth to do? What impact can I make? If you think about that, what skills and experiences did I go through so that I could help others? Stuff like that. Those are helpful questions. And then another really good shift I like from happy is, what am I doing that is making the most out of my life? That can start to give you a direction when you feel like you're making the most of your life. And I think you'll be a lot more satisfied if you think about, what am I doing to make the most of my life instead of what am I doing to make myself happy? Because I'm sure a lot of us would be happy to just sleep in and do nothing. But are you making the most of your life by just sleeping in all day and not accomplishing anything? So that's why I like to make that shift of making the most out of my life. Now, another way you could solve this lack of purpose or direction is to look at these four situations. I really like to do this with clients, and I've done it with myself. And it's to look at, if you had unlimited money, what would you do? If you had limited time, what would you work on? If you were at your 100th birthday and people were talking about the legacy you left, what would you want them to say? And if you had a 3-year expiration date, what would you do in those 3 years? Now, by doing this, you're gonna see a lot of different situations. You're gonna see a lot of different things that you would probably work on. There's of course gonna be some overlap, but it can help you identify like, okay, if I had unlimited money, I'd be a vet working with animals. Maybe that's what you wanna do. Or if I had unlimited time, I would work on curing cancer. Whatever it is, it could start to show you what you want to work on and kind of give you a direction. So what I would do is fill out those 4 situations, think about what you would do, and then pick one of those 4 situations that you want to start working on, and then from there, try a bunch of stuff related to it and see if you enjoy it. And that's probably the easiest way, because you have to put intention behind finding purpose and direction. It's not just going to come to you. Now, what are some simple changes you can make to help you be more happy or make the most of your life? Those being that you probably have some unhealthy habits. Those being lack of exercise, poor diet, or substance abuse. Now, the lack of exercise and poor diet, those are 2 things that you can fix tomorrow. You can decide, I'm gonna eat healthier and give me food that gives me energy, and I'm also gonna go to the gym or do any exercise program that works for you that'll empower you to feel a lot better, and you'll feel like you're making the most of your life, and you're gonna get those feel-good chemicals in your brain to be released, making you feel better and feel happier. So doing those 2 things will be immensely helpful to your habits and making you feel like you're happy. Now, substance abuse, I'm not gonna give necessarily advice on that. If you need help with that, go see a professional or that. That may be a reason that you're not happy with your life. Now, another reason you may not be happy with your life is you have excessive stress or pressure, and you have a lack of coping with it. Now, having excessive pressure or stress is not enjoyable, but if we have a coping mechanism, that's okay, because there will be seasons in our lives where we have more stress than others. Having a new baby, really stressful, but it's a beautiful thing. There's other things, with business, super stressful, but you have to go through it to get where you want to go. So you need to be able to have a coping mechanism. And when I say coping mechanism, I want this to be a healthy thing that you can do that will move you forward, but also helps you cope with stress. So for me, if I'm just being candid, one of my coping mechanisms is simply playing video games. It really helps me if I can just turn off my brain for an hour or 2, play some video games, relax. I feel really good. Another healthier coping mechanism is going to the gym. That's one thing that really allows me to get my stress and get my emotions out, so it's very helpful. Now, I went over today why you are probably not happy with your life. Again, I just speak from experience, but hopefully this was helpful.